promise you. Some things that I want you to take away from tonight's discussion. Number one, there are some new ways of engaging. Carla referred to some of that when it comes to social media and using email and the phone to engage with admissions. You can't visit schools. Colleges are not coming to visit your high school if your high school is even going to be open. And so it makes it more challenging to connect with colleges, but there are ways to do that, and we encourage you to engage. We talk to all of our students about this. Schools are going to discount, so everyone's going to offer some type of a discount. Maybe not to you, but they're out there. In other words, all colleges discount, but not for the same reasons. So they don't all award need-based aid. They may have scholarship, and not every family is going to get the same amount. So just because your neighbor, who you think has a similar income, or you think their kid has a similar SAT score and GPA, that your child is going to get the same thing, it doesn't always work that way. Financial aid is not just for poor folks. There are middle income, I mentioned middle income and even upper middle income families who qualify for those institutional awards. And so that's important to remember, that it's not just low income families who qualify for financial aid. It's also middle and upper middle income families. I see families earning upwards of almost up to $300,000 who can qualify for 5-figure financial aid awards. It depends on how many kids you have in school, and it depends on other circumstances. It also is going to depend on what 2020 is going to look like for you and how quickly you're able to get that 2020 tax return finished, and how effective you're going to be in launching that reconsideration request. This is a business, right? You got to understand that. This isn't just it is a bit of a game, but it is a business, and colleges are big businesses, and you are consumers paying a fee for a service. And so it's important that you become educated on that. Hopefully tonight, paying attention here and getting yourself educated is your first step in that process. I can't tell you that there's one thing that all families ought to do, because there isn't. There's no one strategy that fits every family. And there are a lot of dynamics here. There's the income and the financial side, and there's the student and the qualifications that the student brings to the picture. And there's a lot that goes on. So there's no one thing, there's no one magic pill that I could recommend to everybody. This is very much a customized approach. So I guess then the question is, with all the things that Carla and I have said tonight, what should you do? What are the steps that you can take as a household, as a family, to take advantage of some of the things that we talked about here? Number one is, if you don't do anything, I would not say that that's a very good strategy. So you've been given a lot of info tonight. I'm about to pass out here, but thankfully I'm sitting down. Normally when I do these presentations, I'm standing up in front of a group, but I'm able to sit down. But ask yourself what you can afford. It's not so much, a lot of people, they approach this with the idea of, what can the college give me? What can I get out of this? Well, the other side to that is, what can we afford to pay? And that's a very important question that you need to ask. If you're married, ask your spouse that, discuss that. Discuss with your child. Talk to your kids about your ability to pay and what is at stake and what you can afford and what kinds of schools. You don't want to disappoint them later in the spring. You want to make sure that you're applying to colleges that you are going to be able to pay for. Carla mentioned something earlier about applying to the schools that everyone else in your high school is applying to, and it's important that you don't always run with the herd. That you sometimes, you're going to apply to some of the safety schools and maybe some of the state universities and some of the popular schools, but it's also worthwhile to choose schools that are going to be against the grain, those lesser known colleges that may still have a great education, and they're going to be a great opportunity for your kid, and you're going to also qualify for some great money. Carla did mention not to listen to your neighbor who may not be a college expert, or I always hear the expressions, I heard from some mom that if you take the SAT too many times, or I heard from some mom that you shouldn't apply to too many colleges, or I heard from, and sometimes it's some dad. I don't want to be critical of all the moms out there. Sometimes it's dad who thinks he knows everything there is to know about this whole process. And I can tell you from experience that, a lot of people who are, they're sitting next to you in the bleachers at a soccer game, or, they're your neighbor down the street, or whoever it might be, they don't always, or, the other folks in your Facebook group chat, they don't always have all the answers when it comes to college admissions. It may have worked for them, it may have worked for their older children, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for you. And that's where it becomes important to be able to seek some help, to get some guidance. So here's what I'm offering you for paying attention to us and for sitting through this, and hopefully you're still awake and you found this information to be useful, that we're going to give you an opportunity, if you haven't met with us, to be able to do that, to sit down with us. Now, the good thing is you don't even have to come to my office anymore. You can do this in the comfort of your home. We use technology like Zoom, for example, and we can meet face-to-face on the computer, where we will take a look at your situation and apply what was complex to your specific situation to be able to give you some guidance. Maybe we'll be able to calculate your expected family contribution and be able to tell you exactly what your next steps might be in order to succeed when it comes to not only applying to college and getting in, but also being able to pay for it. We'll also give you that peace of mind of knowing that you haven't missed anything. So I invite you to send an email to info@yourcollegeconcierge.com. We will make sure that that gets to the right place. You can also call us. This is our phone. It's a very easy phone number to remember, 659-1234 with the 954 area code. We invite you to reach out to us and schedule that 1-hour consultation. There are families who come and pay money off the street who come to meet with us. They pay $350 to meet with us. That's our consult fee. But I'm offering you this opportunity. You're on our list here, so we know you, and you'll be able to schedule this appointment at no additional cost. So with that, I'm going to take questions. I know that we did have some questions, so I'll go ahead and address those first. If any of you guys would like to ask.